Some of the challenges of succession that I have listed here. Now, by no means are there only 3 in the older generation and 3 in the younger generation. There are many different challenges that one can encounter, but some of the ones that we deal with day in and day out are those that I have listed. The number one area with the business owner is that letting go of power and control. When we have had a very successful owner or an entrepreneur who has had a lot of power and control, it is going to be very difficult, even if they want to move into retirement, for them to let go, because their whole identity is tied to the business. So the whole thinking is, if I'm not in the business, who am I? This has been my baby. I have put my blood, sweat, and tears into this business day in and day out. How do I now move into the future? I've had no time for hobbies. What am I going to be doing in retirement? So this becomes a very difficult process. And we see a lot of denial, we see avoidance, and we see resistance to the whole process of planning and executing the plan. In the younger generation, the whole area of individuation and differentiation. Any person, any human being going from childhood to adulthood needs to carve out their own identity, separate from their family of origin, but at the same time, they need to maintain a relationship with their family. It's not one or the other, it's and both. That is a difficult process in and of itself, even if you're not in a family business. But it becomes much more complex when you're in a family business, because day after day, we are not living somewhere else and visiting our family at Thanksgiving and Christmas. We are working with them every single day. So parents and children and siblings need to interact with each other. And how do I have a voice? How do I create that separate identity and at the same time have strong relationships and constructive relationships within the family? We've already touched on a couple of the other points here in terms of what does that younger generation really need to learn in order to be successful, not only in terms of technical skills in the family business, but what do they need to succeed as the next generation owner and leader, as well as establishing credibility. And that was talked about during the panel discussion quite a bit, that if I am the owner's son or daughter, how do I really get that credibility so that people aren't looking at me in a way to judge me and say, oh yeah, of course, you aren't going to come in on time, you're going to work from home, and all those other pieces. Three-circle model of family business, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with, but once again, and it's hard to see here in the colors, but each of these circles is very complex, a complex system in and of itself, and then we have them coming together and intertwining, which is what makes family business transitions as difficult as they are. So we do a lot to take a look at what is going on within the ownership structure, within the business, and as well as the family system.